Venn diagrams. This is where we gather information on, let's say, anything from surveys to, anything that has to do with grouping sets of numbers so we can easily just classify each element within each set easily, right? So in this case, we got A and B inside the universal square. Let's say A stands for apples, people that like apples, and B stands for people that like oranges. And then in the middle, we have people that like apples and oranges. And outside, we have people that like neither apples or oranges. So in this one, we're gonna focus on set A, which we're gonna say is apples. This includes everyone that does like apples. So this will include people that like only apples and people that like apples as well as oranges, because, well, only because they do like apples. So that's what we're seeing here, set A. And then as we move along, now we can also count the people that don't like apples. This would include people that only like oranges, and it will also include people that don't like apples or oranges altogether. Everybody except those who like apples, who do like apples. Everybody except those who do like apples, which would be A. So this is called the complement of A. You know, like when you have complementary colors, they're opposites on the color wheel. This will be the complement of A, is the opposite of A. Instead of having people that do like apples, now you have people that don't like apples. Now we have two groups, A and B. Let's say it's people that like apples, people that like oranges, people that like neither apples nor oranges. But we didn't find anybody that liked apples and oranges. This was just like a different kind of group or something. Maybe it would relate more with, like, let's say people that go for one team and people that go for a rival team. Like there's nobody that likes both teams or something. It's either people that like one team, people that like the other team, or everybody else that likes neither team. And this is what this is, a disjoint set. They're not connected. This one would be a proper subset. This means that, as you can see here, B is inside of A, which is inside of, obviously, the universal. Okay, so let's say for this example, this is cars. A is all the automobiles in general. B, you have automatics. And obviously there could be, like in A, you have, I don't know, like for example, like manual cars, stick shift and all that. So as many people that like automatic cars go inside of B, the rest of the car lovers are in A, and outside of A is you. That could be like trucks or motorcycles, etc., etc. Stuff that doesn't go into A. So A right here in this case again is cars. B, specifically only automatic cars. So since B is within A, it's called a subset. It's a subset because it's a set basically that comes from A. It's like a how do I say it? Like a segment of A. It's like a fraction of it, and that's what we call a proper subset or a subset. There's other kind of subsets too. Here we have A and B. As we were talking earlier, this was like the apples and oranges. People that like apples, people that like oranges. But now it's our job to find out how many people like both apples and oranges. So we're not going to count the people that don't like either. We're not going to count people that only like apples, and we're not going to count people that only like oranges. We're going to focus only on those that like both apples and oranges. That's when they're overlapping sets, and when you see that sign, it's an upside down U. It's basically it's to so you can know the difference between unison. Unison would be, we'll see it right now in a little bit, but unison is different from this because unison would include people that like only apples and people that like only oranges, as well as people that like both apples and oranges. But in this case, it's not a unison. The sign is flipped upside down. So we don't do the people that only like one or the other. It has to be both A and B for this one. So you only count the elements within the overlapping set. This is what I was talking about. This is the unison. This is the unison one. So A in unison with B. So we count the complete A and the complete B. And as we can see, they're in unison because they're overlapping each other. That means there are elements within both A and B. That's what basically connects them, as opposed to the other one where we saw with the rivalry teams where they don't have that. They don't have a unison. This one does. So we're counting apple lovers and orange lovers, whether they like both apples and oranges or whether they like only apples or only oranges altogether.